Hey guys, in this video we are going to discuss about the different categories of literature. Let's start. The different categories of literature include fiction, poetry, drama and non-fiction. Now let us understand what is a fiction. Generally, fiction is any form of literature that tells about imaginary people, places or events. So, fiction, it is generally based on the author's imagination rather than reality. In any fiction, author, he introduces fictional settings, fictional places, fictional things, and everything here is based on the author's imagination rather than reality. So, what are some of the best examples of fiction? Charles Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities, Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. Another important fictional place which I would like to mention is Egdon Heath. So, this is a fictional place which appears only in the novels of Thomas Hardy. It is not a real place. It is some fictional place which you can find only in the novels of Thomas Hardy. So, what are kinds of fiction? Short stories, novels and folk tales are kinds of fiction. Now, let's move on to the next, that is short story. Let us understand now what is a short story. A short story is a fictional work containing 1000 to 20,000 words and measures no longer than 25 to 30 pages in length. So, any fictional work, if it is to be called a short story, then the words should be exactly between 1000 to 20,000 and the length of the pages should be 25 to 30. If it exceeds more than the required length and more than the required words, then it falls under the category of some other fictional work. Edgar Allan Poe, one of the most well-known short story writers in the English literary tradition, famously claimed that a short story should be read in a single sitting of under 2 hours. Edgar Allan Poe, he was one of the most well-known short story writers. He famously gave the definition of short story as that a short story should be read under 2 hours. It should not exceed 2 hours. Now, let's see what are the best examples of short stories. The Snows of Kilimanjaro and Hills Like White Elephants by Ernest Hemingway. Now, let's move on to the next, that is novel. A novel is a long fictional story that uses all the elements of storytelling, namely plot, character, setting, theme and point of view. So, A novel is that fictional work which includes all the elements which are to be present in every storytelling. That is plot, character, setting, theme and point of view. Now, let us understand what is a plot. This is a series or chain of related events that tells us what happens in a story. Plot is nothing but chain of events. They give information to the reader about what will happen next in a story. Plot is something special which we can find only in novel. When a plot is well mapped out, it catches our curiosity about what will happen next. So, when a plot is good, when a plot is extraordinary, it arouses curiosity in the readers about what will happen next in the story. If a plot is not good, then the reader, they are not so much excited about what will happen next in a story. But a good plot, it makes the reader to look at it. It draws its attention by telling what will happen next in a story. Next, we will look at characters. These are persons or animals involved in a story in order to show us some truth about human experience and ourselves. Characters are not only persons, they are animals as well. And characters, they tell us about the bitter reality of human life, like jealousy, lust, arrogance, marriage, happiness, everything. They tell us everything about the human life. In a story, we can recognize a character by his and her, its appearance, actions and thoughts, reactions of others, and direct statement of the author. So, in any story, we can recognize a character by his and her appearance. Means what are his looks and what are his thoughts, what is running in his mind, and what other characters say about those characters. Apart from this, direct statement of the author means what the author he tells about these characters also plays a very important role in determining any character. There are two types of characters. One is flat character and another one is round character. Flat character. So, a flat character is simple, not complex. That means we can understand that character by directly looking at the person. So, there are no hidden qualities. That character is easy to identify. Whereas round character is complex and consists of hidden traits. That means it is difficult to identify such type of characters because they consist of hidden traits or hidden qualities.